Hey guys, wanted to talk for a minute about fiber supplements here. This one is, I like this psyllium husk. I don't mind it at all, and it doesn't seem to bother me at all. This is a really good one. I did get this one at Sam's Club, I think it is. And so that one seems to work. Now, I think we found that psyllium fiber had started to irritate Honey's gut. And so I bought him this one at Whole Foods. This is raw organic fiber, and this is from Garden of Life. This is good for people who really, are bothered by psyllium. So there's no psyllium in here. And this has, I really like this because it's got a lot of probiotics, omega-3s, and there's so many good things in here. And so it's got flaxseed, amaranth sprout. Everything's organic and everything's sprouted. Tons and tons of sprouts. Let me show you a little bit more in case you want to read any of that. And so it's all, you've got soluble and you've got insoluble fiber, all your fibers in here. And it's going to be fairly low in carbs, not as low as I think this one is, but you're getting a ton of good fiber that is going to feed your gut. And there's two things that Robert Lustig says, is that he says, heal the liver, feed the gut, and you're good. That is considered a healthy food if it does one or both of those things. Now, this one was about $21 and this is like 10 servings, I believe. And this actually also tastes good. And I got this at Whole Foods, but I went on Amazon and I found this for $29. You get 30 servings. It's the very same thing. So I got this one so that, so now we're both doing this. But one thing that I found is this is so effective. I do this every other day, whereas I was doing a little bit of psyllium husk every day. So I could do either or, neither one bothers me. But this one, I like the fact that you're giving your body so many prebiotics, not probiotics, although it has probiotics in here, but you have to look at it that way. Feeding the gut is giving it a prebiotic, and so that is helping you in so many ways, feeding your gut and healing your gut. Fiber is what your gut bugs eat, and so we need to remember that we're eating for like billions and billions as well as ourselves. All right. Okay, for breakfast this morning, I've got 2 eggs, 1 bacon, and I have a half of a cup of cottage cheese, a cup of blackberries, and half of a low-carb lemon poppy seed muffin. And this is the kind I usually use, which is lactate, low-fat cottage cheese. It's gone. I've got the rest of it in there. And I started buying this good low-fat cottage cheese, and oh my goodness, I have to tell you, this is definitely a step up. It is really good quality. The curds are smaller, they're more dense. Now I did try the double cream one that they make, and this is really decadent. If you want to try a cottage cheese, it's like makes you feel like the Primo, then yeah, this one is it. But it definitely has 6% milk fat, so it's got more milk fat in it. But to tell you the truth, I enjoyed this one just as much as I did the low fat. So this one you can see has, well, let me turn these around here. The double cream does have more calories. It's about 50 more or so. So it's going to be a little bit richer in points as well. And for me, we'll finish this, but I don't really consider that worth the difference in the points and everything. So I'll probably stick with the low fat version, but it is a good one. All right, so I came home and Honey surprised me with this little snack peanuts and a Diet Dr. Pepper, and a 1/4 cup is what I had. And it's not as bad as you might think in carbs. It's about 5 carbs for a quarter cup, and that is an awful lot to satiate you. So once in a while is not a bad thing. All right, for dinner, I had 1 egg, probably about 1.5 ounces of ham, and like 1/3 of a cup of green beans. I wasn't that hungry, and a low-carb muffin and some tea. And so sometimes you just don't feel like eating a whole lot, but I didn't want to wake up at 10 o'clock starving, so I went ahead and had something. This is pretty good. Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, and I'm going to make some low-carb waffles. I am getting them out of this book, Easy Keto Breakfasts, which works well into my low-carb lifestyle. And they've got a recipe. You could use it for pancakes or you could use it for waffles, either one. And it's pretty much the same thing. So you're just going to use a waffle maker while you do it. So let's go over the ingredients. We've got 4 large eggs, a 3/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk, 1/4 cup of avocado oil. I've got my avocado oil over here, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract over here, 2.5 cups of blanched almond flour right here. And I got this one at great value. I looked at Whole Foods and Sprouts, and I didn't see the blanched one. The blanched one is the one that's not brown, doesn't have the little skins on them, and so it just makes it a little bit different. I know that I noticed that I used this almond flour, the blanched one, to make some wonderful coconut macaroons before that were low carb, and so you get a little bit of a different texture and a flavor. Okay, and then, but if you don't have it, I think, just go ahead and use the one that has the skins on it. Honestly, it's still going to be good. Okay, and then 1/4 cup of granulated erythritol sweetener, and I've got this one. I'm using this one is mixed with monk fruit. I think I got this one at Sprouts, but I might have found it at Walmart. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which are in that little bowl there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add basically all the wet ingredients into the blender. I'm going to blend it up, and then I'm going to add my dry ingredients into the blender, and then I'm just going to mix that up in the blender as well, and then pour that into a waffle iron. Pretty easy, huh? Here's all my wet ingredients about to be blended. And I just blended that for 30 seconds, and now I'm going to add the dry. And now that's well blended. I just did maybe 15 seconds on that, and I'm going to let the batter rest for 5 minutes. All right, let's talk real quick while the batter's resting about the nutritional information. This should make about 24-inch pancakes or 8 to 10 waffles. And the waffles are 1 per serving. The pancakes are 2 per serving. So if I look down here, then this serving would be calories 220, fat 21.5. So it actually works really good into a keto program here. Protein 8.5 grams, carbs 6.5 grams, fiber 3.1, I'm sorry. And then erythritol is 6 grams. Okay, so I'm thinking they didn't minus the fiber from the carbs, which would bring it down to 3.5, I guess, if you subtract the fiber. So that's pretty good. I have sugar-free syrup. I'll serve it with some berries, maybe some whipped cream, and Canadian bacon and eggs this morning. All right, now I'm going to open up the pan, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of batter into and I know I should probably just use a 1/4 cup to measure it out. I think that's what I'm going to do. You know what? I'm going to kind of make sure this kind of moves a bit to the corners here. All right. Not really even, but I think it'll do. All right, so one thing that I found out is that you really do want to push it to the edge. Otherwise, it didn't really spring up and out like other waffles do. So you really do want to put it to the edge if you want a nicely shaped waffle. And the other thing is, I don't think they're really crispy and they're not super fluffy, but I think they're still going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and try them. and see what I think. Okay, so I have some more cooking, but I'm going to put these away in the refrigerator, and I'm going to store them in a Ziploc. These actually turned out to be quite good. They are big enough to make a nice sandwich maybe later, like a ham and cheese or whatever it is. They're nicely sweet, but they're not overly sweet, so it's not going to interfere with the taste of a savory sandwich. So I think that these are quite flexible. I'll probably be making them again because they're pretty easy. And yeah, I do recommend these. They're pretty good. All right, we happen to live real close to Sonic. Let me just start with that. So in the evenings, we get a little waft of chili dogs in the air sometimes. And it's so funny, but sometimes you just get a hankering for it. So I'm gonna do a low carb version. I've got 1 keto slice of bread here, which I've toasted lightly. And I have a thin, one of these thin Colby Jack cheeses on top. And then I have a reduced fat Hebrew National hot dog and this hot dog chili sauce. And I really wanted to show you this because this is remarkably low in carbs. It's 2 for a tablespoon, which isn't too bad because you only need like 2.5. And you can use it, it's pretty versatile. Now my ketchup is this Walden Farms, it's calorie free. And so it's also got 1 gram of carb for a tablespoon, so it's not chock full of sugar. And then I have some mustard. And then my low carb coleslaw over here with some pumpkin seeds, and that's gonna be my lunch.